No medals for Jamaica on day 2 of the World Indoor Championships 2025 as Jodean Williams and Natasha Morrison run out in women's 60. However, in the men's 60-meter hurdles, the young collegiate men impressed me, and they should impress you also. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Go ahead, please hit the subscribe button so we continue to grow. When you do that, hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drop a video. Once today here at Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoy the content, please hit that like button and finally leave your thoughts. So, ready? Yep. Good to go. Well, it was day 2 of the World Indoor Championships 2025, the day when we had the women's 60-meter dash, heats, semis, and finals all in one day, as they're doing over there in China. The two young ladies representing the island of Jamaica were none other than Jodean Williams and Natasha Morrison, two seasoned vets. And the first of these ladies to step up to the start line was none other than Jodean Williams. Williams walked into this event with the 5th fastest time in the women's 60-meter thus far for the 2025 season. That time was a spiffy 7.07 seconds. And her biggest rival in heat number 2 was none other than Patrice van der Weken. Williams took the win in heat number 2, running a spiffy 7.20 seconds ahead of Van der Weken, who took second in 7.21. Destiny Smith Barnett of the United States took third in 7.21 seconds.
Bolivian indoor champion, and a very reasonable start from Van der Weken, is now starting to get into her running. And Van der Weken and Rutherford, Smith Barnett, and on the near side, Williams also in contention.
Heat number 5 saw Jamaica's Natasha Morrison with a very impressive PB of 7.09, a new personal best, take on Iwa Boda of Poland. And the Polish superstar walked away with the win here with a time of 7.16 ahead of China's Zhang Liang, who ran 7.17. And Natasha Morrison took third in this heat, running a time of 7.20 seconds.
Lowered her 9-year-old personal best the other day. Good start in the middle for Morrison of Jamaica. She drove, she went low. Ava Svoboda racing with Leanne in front of the home crowd. I think Leanne might just have got that on the dip. That would equal her personal.
In heat number 4, one of our favorites here, Munjinga Kambunji, as well as Tori Lewis, impressed, not to mention Rani Rossius, I should say. Munjinga Kambunji won this one in 7.20, with Rossius coming second in 7.23, and Tori Lewis running third in 7.25 seconds.
A good start from McCreath there in lane 2, and now Kambunji is starting to come to the front. Look out for Rossius as well in lane 2. May have just...
Undoubtedly, in the women's 60-meter heat, it was Zana Dosa of Italy who was most impressive, running 7.09 in heat number 1.
Conference before these championships began, spoke about how it is one of her goals to try and dip below 7 seconds.
Dosa entered the semis with the fastest time of 7.09 seconds. Both Jamaican reps, Natasha Morrison and, of course, Jodean Williams, made it through to the semis.
Introducing Peter Lloyd World merchandise, where style meets comfort. From trendy tees to cozy hoodies, we've got something for everyone. Elevate your wardrobe with our high-quality, fashionable designs that make a statement. Whether you're hitting the streets or chilling at home, Peter Lloyd World has you covered. Shop now and upgrade your look with Peter Lloyd World merchandise. Available exclusively at Peter Lloyd World. Link in description below.
Jamaica has used a lot of collegiate athletes at this World Indoors 2025. In fact, as far as I know, this is the first time we have done this. And I'm talking about a good amount of these athletes. Two of the young men who impressed me ran in the men's 60-meter hurdles, as none of the big guns, I mean, they're all concentrating clearly on outdoors, were made themselves available. Jerome Campbell was the first collegiate Jamaican to appear at this World Indoors in the men's 60-meter hurdles. He ran in heat number 3. Campbell took second in this event in 7.61 seconds.
Anticipation, the hush inside the venue. It's a good start from Campbell. Simonetti starting to come through as well. So is Pereira. Those three definitely going through, and so is Shelej. And all kinds of trouble going on in the background.
While Demario Prince, who repped in heat number 1, took third in that heat in a time of 7.70 seconds.
Prince of Jamaica. Despite disruption in the background, they are away first time. Good start from Laminanga. Kin's going well as well. Here goes Obasui, but Kin is going to take this. Popular winner for this crowd, 7.66.
Of course, the star of the show was obviously Grant Holloway. Holloway has not lost a 60-meter hurdles race, I think, since college. It just seems impossible to even think of. But people have to give the man his props. That's an insane record. Anyway, Grant Holloway easily won Heat 2 in a time of 7.49 seconds.
Slow start from Abakar on the inside. The rest of the athletes going well. Bolossian clattering a load of hurdles, but there goes Grant Holloway, 7.50. Nice, relaxed.
Keep it locked here to Peter Lloyd World, my Royals. We will continue to give you daily roundups of the day's events over there at the World Indoor Championships 2025 taking place in China. And of course, tomorrow, the third day, will feature none other than Jamaica's Akira Nugent, who I personally believe is our best hope of walking away with a gold medal. This, of course, will be in the women's 60-meter hurdles dash. It's not going to be easy because she has the likes of Messiah Russell and others competing against, and Russell is also on fire. So this is going to be a very interesting matchup. Keep it locked here to Peter Lloyd World. So let's continue today's roundup of day 2 at World Indoor Championships 2025. Now, both of the young collegiate Jamaicans, Demario Prince and Jerome Campbell, made it safely through, as you saw there, to the men's 60-meter hurdles semi-finals. Jamaica's Demario Prince walked away with a win in semi-final heat number 1, running a time of 7.60 to qualify for the finals. I thought he was very impressive in this run.
They're away first time in this opening semi-final, and Szymanski is running well. Kui of China trying to go with him. Oh, Szymanski stumbled across the line. Now, Quinn was running well.
Jerome Campbell found himself matched up against the American Grant Holloway in semi-final heat number 3. Holloway won this one in 7.48, with Jerome Campbell coming third in a time of 7.61 seconds. Campbell also advanced to the men's 60-meter hurdles finals.
Holloway very, very late to rise, and he's quickly up into his running. We've lost the Sri Lankan on the outside. Good running from Bolossian to come.
Then we stepped away from the men's 60-meter hurdles, took a look at the women's 400 meters. Now, you should remember that the two Jamaican young ladies, Leah Anderson and Joan Reed, did not advance from the heats. In the end, it was Amber and Anning of the UK who walked away with the championship win. To be honest, I kind of saw it reversed. I saw Amber Anning taking second behind this young lady, Alexis Holmes of United States, who came second, and Henrietta Yeager took third. So Amber Anning won with a time of 50.60. This is, of course, a women's 400 meters short track, with Alexis Holmes of United States. Amber Anning, of course, represents the UK, Great Britain, sorry. Alexis Holmes took second in 50.63, and Henrietta Yeager took third in a time of 50.92. seconds.
I'm having that inside line, and it was just now that Britt got a sniff. She got a sniff at gold, and she snatched it.
Amber Anning snatched that right on the line, people, right on the line. Alexis Holmes looked really devastated with that one. So then we were on to the semi-finals of the women's 60-meter dash. Dosa and Natasha Morrison met in a semi-final heat. Number 1, Dosa easily won this one in a time of 7.07 seconds. At that point, the fastest time we'd seen in women's 60 meters. Unfortunately, Natasha Morrison ran 7.25, came 5th, and was unable to advance to the finals.
And the way Dosso, perfection out of the blocks, as was Leanne. Leanne going well in the middle of the field. Zeynep Dosso just seemed to take a...
Meanwhile, Poland's Iwa Swoboda and Jamaica's Jodean Williams met in semi-final heat number 3. Swoboda won this one, running a time of 7.11 to take that first spot. Jodean Williams unfortunately was unable to advance to the finals with a time of 7.22, where she placed 4th.
Good start from Swoboda. Briscoe alongside her as well. Ava Swoboda up and into her running. Can she hold on here, the Polish woman? She does, just ahead of Rani Osius, who's having the season of her.
Then we were suddenly at the penultimate event, the men's 60-meter hurdles finals, featuring Grant Holloway, Jamaica's Demario Prince, and also young Jerome Campbell. Now, people, I was very impressed with the fact that these young collegiate men were able to even get to the finals. I'm going to be very frank with you. And we were one of, I think, 2 countries, China and ourselves, are the only countries that had 2 persons representing in the men's 60-meter finals. To no one's surprise, Grant Holloway cemented his legacy in the men's 60-meter, running a time of 7.42 to take the championship, World Indoor Championships title in the men's 60-meter hurdles for the 3rd time consecutively. The first human being, as far as I know, was been able to do that in this event. Look, people, I have to give the man in props. This man is certainly the greatest 60-meter hurdler of all time. There's no question in my mind. I can't question that. Big up to him. The 2 young Jamaicans did miss the podium, however, with Demario Prince running 7.63 to take the 6th spot, and Jerome Campbell taking the 7th position in a time of 7.71 seconds.
Holloway, as always, is late to rise, but first to the opening barrier. History beckons for this American. He's forgotten how to lose at this distance.
He's forgotten how to lose. Look, it's hard to impress me, people. He impressed me. Then, of course, it was the women's 60-meter finals. And the truth is, I was not necessarily shocked by who won. Now, unfortunately, there were no Jamaicans represented in this event. But I had said in a previous video that I thought Kambundji could win. I certainly thought Dosa would have been able to win also, but I was always leaning towards Kambundji. Maybe not necessarily in this instance because of the numbers, but because I kind of just like Kambundji, I guess. The experienced Kambundji took advantage of the fact that she was way over there in lane 6. Dosa could not see her. Remember in 2022, Kambundji won from lane 8. When you're not seeing those athletes, we saw the same thing happen with Sha'Carri Richardson in 2022 in the final of the women's 100 meters world championship. So Kambundji won in 7.04. Dosa came second in 7.06. And handing her country of Luxembourg their very, very first global medal ever in this event, or in any other event if my memory serves me correctly, was Patrice van der Weken, who ran 7.07 to take the bronze medal. Iwa Swoboda ran out of it. She came 4th in 7.09 seconds.
And a good start from Van der Weken from Swoboda, but Dosso gets into a run in the second half of the race. Dosso coming under pressure. Kambundji repeats as world indoor champion for Switzerland. She is a...
Now this, of course, is my 2 cents. Look, I know many of you are disappointed in the fact that we did not walk away with a medal as we did in day 1. Truth be told, I didn't expect us to walk away with a medal today. I did say there was a 10% chance that Jodean Williams could have medaled. I thought Jodean Williams would have at least been able to get through to the finals. But the truth is, people running the indoor 60 and the outdoor 60 are just very different creatures. They're just very, very different creatures. And the fact of the matter is, we have to be honest, the European women were on fire. They have been on fire for quite some time, but they certainly came with it. They delivered. Kambunji won. How does this bode for Natasha Morrison and Jodean Williams for the outdoor season? Well, let's wait and see. We're not sure. Then I must say that I was really impressed with the young men in terms of the men's 60 meters. These are collegiate athletes running against the top pros, and I think just to make it through to the final, I think it was Prince who had a pretty good showing at one point, winning his semis, I think, and looking really good in the process. This is a good sign for these two young men. Our hurdling tradition will remain pretty solid. And yes, I like you, I'm disappointed, but I honestly, just looking at the numbers, people, I didn't think we were going to get a medal. Not today. I thought we would get to the finals in women's 60. And I thought I made that clear, but I really was impressed with these two young men, Campbell and Prince. I was definitely impressed with them. I think they're ones to watch. And I think that we may have struck upon something that's interesting. And I have to give kudos to the J3As. Now, what normally happens for the world indoors is that the pros are not interested in the world indoors. The Jamaican pros in particular are not. It's mostly the European pros who are big on the 60, the indoor events, not the outdoor. Not the Jamaicans and the Americans and the Canadians. I mean, you know. But my point is, I think this could be a formula that we use in the future, because the J3As can only put a field team together with athletes pros who say, I'm willing to run. Last year, for instance, Akeem Blake ran and came third in the men's 60 meter dash. Obviously, he's focused on other things, and we can't be upset with him for that. So I think it's a really interesting thing to utilize these youngsters from the collegiate scene who are very anxious for the world-class experience. And we will, I think, give them a great opportunity, as well as we ourselves as and not the J3As, because they're already aware of them, and the brilliant sports analysts, etc. They're aware of the Mario Prince and Campbell. But for the general public and the fans like ourselves, we get a chance to see these young up-and-comers. They get some great experience, and it's a win-win for everyone. So this may be a solution to an age-old problem of the top-tier pros just not wanting to injure themselves or taking the risk in terms of the indoors. We could perhaps, and also remember, the collegiate scene starts much earlier than the pros scene, and they're already running indoors anyway. So taking them out of the indoors to run at the World Indoor Championships it's sort of no-brainer. I thought this was a good experiment. I think the J3As should lean more on this. It'll be good for the athletes, good for the island. And as I said earlier, we get to see some great upcoming talent. So I was personally impressed with these two young men for being able to get through to the finals. But this, of course, is my 2 cents. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to check out our merch store at printify.com. I'll leave a link in the description below. I see some of you buying merch. It means a lot. The channel needs the support. And please, if you would like to consider supporting us by purchasing a membership, it's not very expensive. In fact, it's quite reasonable. Also, you can support us by hitting the subscribe button, the notification bell, and hitting the like button. Remember, you're royals, you're kings and queens. Bless us.